Hello and welcome to Odds on La Liga match day 14 after the international break, and with the defeat of Barcelona in San Sebastián, we are back with Alvaro Romeo and La Liga. Hello, Alvaro.
Hello, Edu. How are you? I hope you can hear me well.
Unexpected defeat of Barcelona. Everything is still open. It looked like La Liga was over after the winning El Clásico, but no.
No, it's not. I think that Real Madrid has a chance to get closer to Barcelona. They've got a game in hand. I believe that Barcelona has been very good, but also their system is a little bit risky, obviously, playing with that high line. Sevilla could exploit it, 𝗵𝗵𝗶 couldn't, but I think that the rest of the teams also, they are learning how to play against Barcelona, but still, I don't want to take anything away from them because the start of the season has been very good, and they lost at Anoeta. Anoeta is not an easy ground. Atletico and Real Madrid know about it. It wasn't easy for them to play there this season. And yeah, I mean, everything that is happening in La Liga is very exciting. I believe that also the likes of Villarreal and Athletic Club Bilbao are trying to punch above their weight. So, there are plenty of good things that are happening right now. And I think that the season so far has been very entertaining.
Well, then let's talk about it. Guys, remember to leave your comments, your tips for this new match day. And of course, press the like, subscribe. Let's go on now with the show. First game on Friday, key for the relegation battle, Getafe Valladolid. I guess we shouldn't expect many goals. Getafe only 8 goals scored, only in one game. They scored more than one goal and was the only game that they won against Alaves. They are missing a lot. Borja Mayoral and Valladolid, Alvaro, they were this close to beat Athletic. They only conceded in the very last minute.
Yes, 𝗲𝗲𝗿𝗀𝗏𝗀 scored a wonderful goal to give Athletic Club Bilbao a point against Valladolid. But in this game, I'm gonna take as a starting point one thing is the fact that Getafe got 7 draws in La Liga. So that tells me that the competitive edge is there. But it's true, they are missing a lot of firepower because they have only recorded one win to date, and they have scored 8 goals, as you said. Their lack of scorers is very remarkable. And not only Borja Mayoral is not going to be ready for this game. In fact, apparently he is pondering whether he should have surgery again or not. But also, Bordalás is getting tired of that. And he asked publicly for 6 signings in his last press conference, which is clearly a message to the owner of Getafe, Ángel Torres. And Ángel Torres replied saying that wanting doesn't mean that you will be getting. I mean, I'm trying to translate quite in my way a phrase in Spanish that says ante el vicio de pedir la virtud de no dar, which is what Ángel Torres told Bordalás, telling him that you may ask whatever you want for, but I'm going to give you whatever I want to give you. So, maybe there is a controversy brewing in there between the owner and the coach. But, I think that Getafe has been competitive in many games. They haven't had so many losses. Again, 7 draws in La Liga. And there is a stat that I really like that talks very well about Getafe. They have conceded only 2.62 shots per game inside the box, which is the 3rd best tally of La Liga. So they don't concede a lot. They don't let you shoot a lot, especially inside the box. And that tells me that they are competitive. Valladolid, on the other hand, look, against Athletic Club Bilbao, yes, they were about to get 3 points. But away from home, they have conceded 18 goals, which is a record in La Liga. 25 goals conceded in total, 7 of them at Barcelona ground. And then the manager is, in my opinion, too turbulent in the, in his own little coaching area. I mean, he's the most booked person in La Liga. So also, it looks like there is a nervousness in there. But still, I think Getafe is going to get something out of this game. I'm pretty sure about that. I could back Getafe with an Asian handicap minus 0.25. The money is not great, but I prefer to back Getafe with a clean sheet, with pace in the region of 185, because Valladolid is not a great scoring team and Getafe's defense is good. Or otherwise, a win 2-0 for Getafe, 230. I know that Getafe is what it is, but if they win somehow, they are going to win this way, winning 2-0. They will defend well and they will record a very difficult 3 points. Probably they will have to fight a lot for it, but a win 2-0 for Getafe, 230, yes, I could believe in that.
It shouldn't be a thriller, this game, under 2 goals, 1.8. Probably if you are looking for big emotions on a Friday evening, you should look somewhere else instead of in this Getafe Valladolid. Next game is Valencia Betis, and this one is an important one for the city, for the supporters of Valencia, to postpone games after the floods that affected the region of Valencia, and the supporters see their team really, really deep in the standings, bottom 7 points, 3 points away from Getafe, only one win in this season, and I don't know, Alvaro, if in this emotional game they are going to be able to leave first the standings, second all the grief and the problems that they are having in the last 3 weeks to beat a team that is actually in form like Betis. We can understand why Betis are favorite for this game.
Yeah, Betis is in form. Betis in Europe, they're struggling to get the results. Then in La Liga, little by little, they have corrected themselves. They are in a good run. On the other hand, Betis is a team that needs to defend well to get points, because they have scored only 14 goals in 13 games, which is nothing for a team that I think that aims to qualify at least for the Europa League. Their best scorer is 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲, and then Vitor Roque up there. They try. They have a very commendable attitude as well, but they are not great scorers yet. But still, I think that Betis is the favorite here because they are in a good run. They've got better footballers. They know how to keep the ball, and they've got a more settled style with a manager that normally gets, points out of games like this. So a draw no bet for Betis would be my favorite thing here, 183. Otherwise, since both sides, Valencia and Betis, are rather low scoring, Valencia's lack of goals being more hyperbolic, obviously, because they have scored only 8 goals, whereas Betis, as I said before, have scored 14. 22 goals in total for 2 sides is not a lot, at this stage of the season, late November. That's why the odds favor the under over the over, which is logical. But if you go for over 1.75 goals, 160, and you pray that this game is going to finish in the region of 2-1 for Betis, 1-1, a draw for Valencia maybe, because the situation can get emotional and they can find some engine out of, the support from the crowd and all that, that could be clever as well. Over 1.75 goal, 160, there is an element of risk, yes, but not so much, because if there is less than 2 goals, you only suffer half a lose. But I would prefer to go for a draw no bet for Betis. In this game, I prefer to go full-time result. Draw no bet for Betis, 183.
Okay, 𝐿𝐵𝐴 is going for both teams to score. It could be easily a draw. I wouldn't be surprised. Both teams to score 2-0-9. Next game at the Metropolitano, Atletico de Madrid, Alaves. Atletico de Madrid getting good results since the defeat against Betis, 4 consecutive wins. Then we can talk about the way of winning. It's not easy to win in Mallorca or in Paris, obviously, but we must say that they've been lucky. They are masters of winning really tight games, probably even in the last minutes of the game this season, as they did, for instance, against PSG. It should be easier, Alvaro, against Alaves, a team that is 3 points above relegation and a team that performs way better at home than away. Away, only 1 win in San Sebastián, and in general, poor performances.
Yes, that's true. And Alaves then lost 3-0 to Villarreal in their last outing as well. Away from home, they haven't been particularly great, I have to say. I know that Luis Garcia complained about a certain action in the game against Villarreal, but I don't think that any refereeing decision would have changed the outcome of that game. And I always think that Alaves at home know what to do, and away from home, they show their true level. Basically, at home, they with the crowd, with the spirit that they get from the stands, they manage to grind out the results. But away from home is a different story. And when it comes to Atletico, they have conceded only 2 goals at home. They are in a decent run, not great, but decent. A very big week is coming for them because in the Champions League they got a win in Paris, but also I don't forget that they lost, for example, at home against Lille. So they still need to do the job in the Champions League. But in La Liga, they have done pretty decently, I would say. Many clean sheets, by the way. As I said before, they have conceded only 2 at home. And I'm going to back them. Atletico to win 2-0, 2.0. The money can be good, but I prefer maybe Atletico to win the second half because I do believe that in the second half they will do better than in the first half because some of the best players Atletico has come from South America. And also, maybe they will start the game a little bit slowly. And in the second half, finally, the likes of Julián Álvarez or Rodrigo de Paul will come onto the pitch and end up making the difference. One thing that I like, or one bet that I would like here, Edu, will be Griezmann to score or assist. I don't have the odds for Griezmann to score or assist, but I have the odds for Griezmann to score. And it's 3.05. Antoine Griezmann doesn't play for France anymore. The international breaks are not exhausting for him anymore. So maybe he can bring in some new energy after missing out with the national side. Griezmann to score 3.05. And I don't forget about Pablo Barrios. The other day, finally, he got his chance with the Spanish national side, the senior team, and he did okay, actually. I like Pablo Barrios. I think he can be a very good midfielder. So, good for him. Kudos to him and congratulations to this young footballer as well. But yeah, as I said before, Atletico to win the second half, 173.
Not a great season for Griezmann. There are a lot of rumors linking him to MLS. He likes a lot American sports and it's very likely that he ends up next season there, but he's underperforming this season, even if he retired from national football. Julián Álvarez scored the winner against Mallorca, was an easy one, but still at least finding the net, and we expect much more from Julián.
Yeah, Julián, 4 goals this season, and Griezmann, he has taken part in 7 goals. It's not a lot, 3 goals, 4 assists. He can do better, but I believe that he will do better.
Yeah, even his game in Paris was not good, but he gave the assist to 𝐿𝐭𝐴, for instance, in the second goal. Alaves very disappointing. 𝗀𝗔 is telling us Atletico to win 2-0 could be another option. Next one. Derby in Catalunya, Girona, Espanyol. Girona 2 key wins in La Liga against Getafe and against Leganes, against Madrid teams. Both suffered, but both very important to put a big distance with the relegation spots. And in the relegation spots, we have Espanyol. They haven't played since the derby, since the 3rd of November. And they were coming from 3 consecutive defeats in a difficult spot, Espanyol, as we could imagine at the beginning of the season, though.
Yes, Espanyol are going to suffer. Espanyol are the worst team away in La Liga. They only got 1 point away from home, and they are in the worst run in La Liga if we take a small sample size. They have suffered 3 defeats in as many La Liga games. So that's why Girona to win would be interesting here, 172. But the money is not great for a side like Girona that it's a little bit of a stop-start. This season, for example, at home, they have suffered defeats against Barcelona, against Real Sociedad. Then, they got like a really impressive wins. Like they beat Osasuna 4-0. They beat Athletic Bilbao 2-1. They beat Leganes 4-3 in a high-scoring game. So, Girona has been a little bit inconsistent. They have been definitely better at home than away. And at home, they are scoring a decent amount of goals. I mean, Girona scored 4 against Osasuna. It's not easy. 4 against Leganes, 2 against Athletic Bilbao. So I'm going to go for over 2.25 goals in this game, 175. I think that this game can easily be 2-1, 3-1, 3-0, for Girona, just because Espanyol away from home has been terrible, and Girona at home, they've been at least decent. Hopefully, Girona will recover many players ahead of December, because in December, they will definitely play for something. Maybe they can correct a little bit the situation in the Champions League, and especially in La Liga. So let's pray for the medical team of Girona to do the job as well. But over 2.25 goals in this game, 175.
They probably can focus in La Liga because it's very likely that they will be out of the Champions League in February. It looks very bad for them. Girona to win and both teams to score. For Benjamin, and 𝗀𝗵𝗻 is telling us that he thinks this could be a draw. The Girona play Sturm Graz, so it's the worst team so far in the Champions League. They even lost the manager going to the Bundesliga to Gladbach, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a good option for Girona to win their second game in the Champions League. Next game, Unión Deportiva Las Palmas, Mallorca. Both teams in the islands, and Las Palmas. When you sack a manager and you hire someone like Diego Martinez, I guess, Alvaro, you expect a reaction like the one they had. Now they are outside the relegation spots. They won 3 out of the last 4 games, only losing at the Metropolitano, and Las Palmas were the favorites to go to Segunda División, and not anymore. They beat Rayo Vallecano in a great fashion, 3-1, and now they have a chance to get another win. The odds are good to back Las Palmas somehow, because Mallorca, they are comfortable in mid-table, but it's only 1 win in the last 5, and usually low-scoring games.
Yeah, I think this game is going to be interesting. It's going to be tight as well. But I'm more than happy to back Las Palmas here, just because you said that Diego Martinez has triggered a reaction, and it's true. I mean, when he arrived in Las Palmas, the first thing he said to the team was, don't look at the table anymore, because Las Palmas was going through a really rough moment, not having recorded the win since February, something like that. You know, the team was doomed, or it looked doomed. And Diego Martinez just came, he's got his method, he's a good manager. He took Granada to the Europa League quarterfinals, by the way, we don't forget that. And a few players have improved a lot lately. I think that Moleiro has been really good. Kylian playing as number 10. Fabio Silva, he has scored a few goals as well for Las Palmas lately. Sandro, 𝗀𝗻𝗂𝗓. So little by little, the good players, and the players I mentioned, they are technically proficient, have been playing really well. And, you know, Mallorca, I like the manager, but they got 1 point out of 9. And Las Palmas, they are having the best run from the bottom half of the table. They have gotten 9 points out of the last 15, which is good. Keeping this average, Las Palmas is going to be very soon far away from relegation, and probably they will be eyeing something like the 8th or the 9th spot in the table. So I'm going to go for an Asian handicap plus 0.25 for Las Palmas. A bit conservative, yes, but if they get a draw, you achieve half a win, and if they win, you win. That pays 178. Otherwise, a draw no bet for Las Palmas, 218. I like it as well. I think that there is a possibility that a team in a good run can record at least a draw at home. If they drew, you could break even, but if they won, you would win it.
Very good odds to back Las Palmas. I think there is value in that. Benjamin is also backing Las Palmas, and under 2.5 goals in this case. Next game, very interesting one, Celta Barcelona. You mentioned how difficult is winning in San Sebastián, and also in Vigo. Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid were very, very lucky to get the 3 points from Balaidos. Celta are doing a very good season, especially when they are playing at home, and Barcelona are back in the competition after this defeat, the second in La Liga, the third in the season in San Sebastián, not shooting on target. These were the big news in that game. Also, we have to highlight, Alvaro, that Yamal was out of the team. He's been resting at home, not playing with Spain. He's back. We saw Rafinha scoring a great free kick with Brazil, and we saw also Lewandowski resting. So let's see how Barcelona bounce back after the defeat in the Real Arena.
Yeah, well, going to Balaidos is not easy for Barcelona. They have only won 3 times out of the last 10 games in this ground. And I think that it was in Balaidos, correct me if I am wrong, Edu, when 𝗀𝗀 𝗏𝗏 picked his first serious injury. He broke his meniscus, his knee. And after that, 𝗀𝗀 𝗏𝗏 hasn't been the same footballer anymore. So, you know, 𝗀𝗀 𝗏𝗏, by the way, who picked an injury in the international break and he's going to be out for another 4 weeks. It's very difficult to trust in the future of this player at Barcelona, really, a player who has been really tormented by injuries here and there. But Barcelona, they are still the best team away in La Liga. Let's not forget something, by the way. When we look at the table, the overall table, Barcelona has played 8 games away. Real Madrid has played only just 5. You know, this is something that adds more merit to what Barcelona are doing, because most of their achievements so far in La Liga has been away from home. They have played 8 games away and they got 18 points away, which is good. I don't know if Lewandowski, who had already 16 goal contributions, or Lamine Yamal, who had already 12 goal contributions, are going to be featuring in this game. Rafinha probably will play, and Rafinha has recorded 7 goals and 6 assists and came to a score 263. Sounds like a decent odd, I would say. Kudos to 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. He played very well for Spain the other day against Switzerland. A very good midfielder, holding midfielder, pugnacious. In terms of fighting and the fighting spirit, he reminds me a little bit of 𝗵𝗵𝗏. In fact, I was thinking that 𝗵𝗵𝗏 and Frenkie de Jong have a problem right now because 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 looks better than them at this stage of the season. But yeah, this game is quite interesting as well. Celta is in a decent moment, especially when they are at home, to the point that they've got even some depth in the squad. 𝗵𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏 or El Panda are fighting for one position up front. Then Celta has a few former Barcelona players that I'm sure that they will want to prove a point against Barcelona, the likes of Mingueza, 𝗲𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, Marcos Alonso. Mingueza, by the way, played very well for Spain the other day too. But this game for me is about goals, really. I think that rather than the full-time result, especially after seeing what Barcelona did at the Real Arena, I will go for goals. Over 3 goals, 170, I love it. Celta has scored 11 goals at home. Barcelona has scored 22 goals away. So over 3 goals, 170 sounds to me like a safe bet.
And if you want to build a bet, for instance, a 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 within this game, Barcelona to win is also 1.74. So if you think the same as Benjamin, who is going for Barcelona to win because he doesn't see Barcelona losing 2 games in a row in La Liga, could be a good option combining both. 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲, both teams to score and over 3.5 goals. Álvaro?
Only very quickly, Edu, if Lewandowski and Lamine Yamal are not there, Barcelona is a different team. Let's keep that in mind. Decía Yamal is going to play. Lewandowski, I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, keep that in mind. Decía Barcelona can still score goals without these players, but they won't be as competitive because 𝗀𝗀 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 won't be there. Maybe Pau Victor needs to play a little bit. Ferran Torres, I don't think he's ready either. Maybe that's better for Barcelona anyway. But yeah, I think that we have to keep into consideration as well that very important players may be missing up front.
And Christensen, I think he's undergoing surgery again, so it looks like it's going to be longer his absence. Also, we are looking forward to seeing Dani Olmo. Let's see if he can play some games in a row, because it's always his problem, picking up injuries. Yeah. Well, 5 games on Saturday and 4 games on Sunday. First one, Osasuna Villarreal. This one is a very good one, 5th against the 4th. Osasuna really strong when they are playing at home. They were coming from a heavy defeat at the Bernabeu where they didn't compete, but they are the second best home team in La Liga with only 1 defeat against Betis. Remember that they beat heavily even Barcelona. And Villarreal got some injuries during the national break. For instance, 𝗀𝐻𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, but doing a great season, and they are the second best away team in La Liga, only losing at Bernabeu. This is a very good game, Álvaro, and very difficult to predict, as we can see here in the odds.
It is very difficult to predict. I think it's going to be a very good game. I'm pretty convinced about that because, as you said, Osasuna is the second best team in the league at home, 16 points out of 21. It's a very good record. And Villarreal is about entertaining, and Villarreal also is grinding out the results. The thing with Villarreal is that little by little players are getting missed. I mean, Ilias is going to miss the remainder of the season, and he was having a terrific season playing on the right flank. 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲, I don't know if he's going to be ready for this game. Same thing applies to 𝐿𝐿𝐵𝐴𝐴𝐴. 𝐬𝐭𝐴𝐻𝐿 is a very good scorer at this stage of his career. 𝐵AENA is one of the best assist providers in La Liga. Luckily for Villarreal, they've got depth because they've got the likes of Pepe, Barry, even Yeremy Pino, who scored with Spain, by the way, against Switzerland, will be playing. But, players are missing for Villarreal, but they will keep the style, they will stay entertaining, and they will play on the front foot. I don't have any doubt about that. And when it comes to Osasuna, they've been good at home, and they've got one of my favorite Spanish footballers, Brian Zaragoza. I'm not lying when I say this. I think that he's so entertaining, and his dribbling abilities are there. And the other day, he won the game against Switzerland on his own, and against Barcelona, he was the one who won the game for Osasuna because his runs were impossible to stop for Barcelona, and he is the striker or the player who has put Barcelona in trouble more in this campaign. I mean, that's unquestionable for me. Brian Zaragoza was a joy to watch, and he's fierce, he's powerful, he's fast, he's got all the tricks in the bag. So for this game, I expect entertainment and therefore goals. Both teams to score 165. Otherwise, over 2.5 goals, 180. I think that this game is going to be about goals because Villarreal and Osasuna know how to score goals. And, Villarreal at the end is about attacking more than about defending. So I will go for that.
We all like Brian Zaragoza. He was asked about his flop against Bayern Munich and the problems with the language, and he said that so far when you play football is with your feet and not with the tongue, so that was not the problem. In his opinion, Villarreal over 1.5 goals for 𝗲𝗏𝗿𝗏𝗏 is seeing both teams to score in this one and a draw, all with good odds, actually. I wouldn't discard also the draw in this game. Next one is Sevilla Rayo Vallecano. Some tension here. There is always tension around Sevilla because they win 1-2 games. They are quiet. They won the derby, but then two ugly defeats against Leganes and against Real Sociedad. The one against Leganes, it was for a stupid penalty. The defender was heavily criticized because it was a huge mistake, but also Pimienta was happy about the game, and it was so poor from Sevilla. They should do much better, whereas Rayo Vallecano, as they did last season, Álvaro, they could be more dangerous when they play away.
Yeah, they can be more dangerous when they play away, that's for sure. And then Sevilla at home hasn't been good at all either. But I think that as it happened in the previous 2 seasons, Sevilla is going to define their stay in La Liga, and they are going to stay out of relegation thanks to their home form. And I think that this is the kind of game in which the home form, or sorry, not the home form, but the home factor will play a part. Sevilla is going through an institutional and sporting turmoil, and it's been like this for a while now. The other day, even Víctor Horta, the sporting director, a man that I have spoken badly about in this show, admitted that he could have signed 𝐿𝐭𝐴𝐻𝐿, the Swedish striker, for 14 million, and he just didn't, and it is like, but why? Why you didn't do it? Sevilla hasn't had...
Nacho. Better Nacho, that it was in Pro Evolution 2007 with Man City or something like this,
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't particularly like the team that Horta crafted, but it's true that Sevilla can put a competitive lineup on the pitch, and that competitive lineup, for example, got some yield out of places like San Mamés, so... The likes of 𝗀𝗵𝐿𝐴, Lokonga, Isaac Romero, they are players that at least they will keep you safe. And I think at Sevilla in this game, they're going to do the job. I think that Asian handicap minus 0.25 for Sevilla has a terrific value. At the end of the day, they are playing against Rayo. it pays 2.0. Otherwise, Sevilla to win. It's going to be, this week I'm going to go strong with Sevilla because they are playing at home. Sevilla to win 237. They will leave some issues behind them this week. I have the feeling that they will do it. Yes, Sevilla to win 237.
The odds are good, as 𝗀𝗫𝗻 is saying. You usually back Sevilla when they are playing at home, and many times actually you are correct. Theo thinks this is going to be a goalless draw or 1-1. Sevilla at home, 3 wins and 3 defeats this season. But again, the odds playing against a team like Rayo Vallecano are very good. Next one is Leganes Real Madrid. Leganes 3 wins this season, and all of them came at home. As we said, they beat Sevilla, and Real Madrid, Alvaro, probably played the best game of the season against Osasuna, bouncing back after the ugly defeat in the derby and against Milan. But again, with so many problems, so many doubts, 𝗵𝗵𝗫, all eyes on 𝗵𝗵𝗫, I would say, after missing the international break with France, after playing really badly against Osasuna and in the previous games with a lot of doubts also in defense. And this is not an easy pitch. Be careful for Real Madrid visiting Anfield next week, remember.
Yeah, but first of all, they have to do the job against Leganes. Leganes won the last game. It's true that they have lost a player in the international break, Franquesa, with an knee injury, and he's going to be out for a long time. But same thing applies to Real Madrid. They keep on losing players, and this time I really believe that Real Madrid has to sign somebody in winter, because Rüdiger cannot be the only man who keeps the defense alive. At the end of the day, last season, Nacho was there, and Nacho was one of the best performers of Real Madrid last season. And I will add that in the Euro as well against France, he did a terrific job because Nacho was always there. But this season, Real Madrid needs another defender. Still, the options will be probably bringing down 𝗀𝗏𝗎 to the central defense. They also use Edu. Yeah, exactly. No, but not for this game. I mean, in the long run. Then in the previous game, Real Madrid used 𝗀𝗍𝒻𝒄, another footballer that I didn't know of, but he was okay. I think that Vallejo won't be playing for Real Madrid as long as Ancelotti is the manager. It doesn't look possible. So at the end of the day, it's about Rüdiger and players alongside him. Carvajal is also out. So Real Madrid needs to sign in January. Away from home, Real Madrid got 9 of the 15 points available. They got draws with Atletico, Las Palmas, and Mallorca, and a defeat against Lille in the Champions League. So away from home, Real Madrid has been a little bit shaky. It doesn't look good that they drew against Las Palmas and Mallorca away. Drawing with Atletico away from home was a different story because that game stopped for 15 minutes and Real Madrid was leading at the time. But, I think that I'm going to back Real Madrid in a ground that is not necessarily easy because Real Madrid only got 1 win in their last 4 visits to 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗀, and this is important to acknowledge, but Real Madrid is in need. And when Real Madrid is in need, normally it's more dangerous. They are like a wounded animal. Real Madrid, when they are wounded, they are dangerous. So I'm going to back Real Madrid to win with an Asian handicap -1. It pays 173. I believe that they can make it, and they've got the stars to make it happen.
We have in our audience 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐵Ce after playing against Peru yesterday, and he says also Madrid Asian handicap -1, and someone was saying -2. So there is a lot of trust on Real Madrid. I won't touch Real Madrid in a while. Someone was also pointing out as Valverde as a right back could be an option. He scored a great goal against Brazil from outside the box, but also he's very important in the midfield.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I think Valverde, it was easier for Zidane to put Valverde as a right back. I think that he did it at Anfield, maybe, when Real Madrid played with a 3-5-2 and Valverde was playing as a wing back. But that was 4 years ago. Valverde right now has a certain, aura and hierarchy in the squad. It's not easy to ask him to play as a right back. But anyway, he is an option to play there because Lucas Vázquez, to me, is a circumstantial option for the last 20 minutes of a game, something like that, but not for a full game.
We could see it against Milan, for instance. He was completely destroyed by Rafael Leao, and he's also injured, by the way, Lucas Vázquez. Because Lucas Vázquez and Militao picked up injuries against Osasuna, and also 𝗀𝗏𝗏 is out, so a lot of problems for Ancelotti, who should check the cantera, the second team, and bring up some youngsters. And the last game is the Basque Derby, Athletic Real Sociedad, both teams playing Europe, Europa League. Athletic doing much better this season. They are sixth in the standings after this draw that we mentioned, but Real Sociedad are only 2 points behind Alvaro, and I heard some rumors about 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏 before the game against Barcelona. If Real Sociedad lose that game, lose this one against Athletic, he could be in risk, but I guess everything has changed after that massive win against Barcelona. This is always very open, and Real Sociedad perform way better away from home than at home this season. Actually, they are the fourth best away team, only conceding 1 goal this season away from home. So are you confident about Athletic, or is a very open derby?
Well, you basically broke down the stats that I prepared. Real Sociedad has conceded 1 goal away, and away from home they've been good. Also, I think that against Barcelona we could see the best possible version of 𝗂𝗏𝗏. I believe that 𝗲𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏𝗏 may be ready for the game. I'm not too sure, but he is important for this Real Sociedad, even though he's not scoring a lot of goals, but his presence is important. Let's don't forget that he couldn't play against Switzerland for Spain. Luis de la Fuente gave him permission to go back to San Sebastián. But yeah, I think that this game is going to be quite interesting, cagey, tight. I expect it to be entertaining, that's for sure, because Athletic Club Bilbao makes the games very entertaining. In fact, I think that Athletic Club Bilbao has underachieved a little bit this season, because the performances have been okay. Maybe they overachieved against Valladolid, funnily enough, in the last game with that lovely goal from 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏𝗏. But for example, I believe that against Atletico de Madrid and against Sevilla, and even against Girona, where they missed 3 penalties, if I'm not mistaken, Athletic Club Bilbao should have gotten more. They should have more points. But this is a derby at the end of the day, and I think that both sides are going to be pretty leveled. I couldn't be able to say who is the favorite, but I can see that the bookies expect this game to be a low-scoring game. And I can see why, because Real Sociedad has been good away from home. They have conceded only 1 goal away, but they are playing in Bilbao, and Nico Williams looks sharp. Iñaki Williams is going to be oozing and eager to score goals as well. So I'm going to defy the odds a little bit. And since the odds are telling me that this game is going to be a low-scoring one, I'm going to go for over 2 goals. I don't think that there is such a risk in going for this. It pays 185.
All right, we have many comments for this game. Last 5 games, by the way, between these two teams, like last 5 Basque derbies ended up in the home team winning. So first half draw for Adam, both teams to score. For Joseph, a draw for Adam at full time as well, and 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏𝗏 also going for draw or Athletic to win by 1 goal. Very difficult, this one, to predict, as we can see in the odds. Really, really high odds. Well, guys, before we finish the video, as always, remember that you can also become a tipster with Oddspedia completely for free and participate in our tipster competitions and win some cash. There you go. Premier League, NFL, NBA, monthly, yearly. Very soon you can create your own competition with your friends. And that's it. Well, after a successful Nations League break, Alvaro, also we are on Discord, true. Alvaro, tell me your safe bet.
Atlético de Madrid to win, 138.
ACCA?
Sevilla to win, Asian handicap -1 for Real Madrid, 410.
High. High for both blancos. Well, adiós and gracias from Adam. Adiós and gracias, Álvaro. Goodbye. Thank you. See you next week. Bye bye.
It's been a pleasure. Bye bye.